Yo, what it do? Man, y'all already know what it is. I am that boy Box. This is Rough House Boxing TV. Appreciate y'all for stopping back through, man. Stopping by the house and chopping it up with us. Hey, today I got a special guest. This is Cat. Say what's up, Cat. Look, look, look. Y'all see Cat? Yeah, that's his name, Cat. What's up, man? You help me do this video? All right, here we go. Well, anyway, man, first off, got to send a big shout out, salute to the whole BLOCKFAM. And y'all make sure y'all pull up on MARLO'S Corner tonight, man, for the blow-by-blow, play-by-play fight call with the best in the business, Trey X and Marlo. And come hang out with the BLOCKFAM, man. We're going to have a good time. You saw the title on the video. You clicked it, so let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, I'm tripping. Hey, also got to send a big shout out to the whole LDBC and the whole fighting community. Everybody that love this boxing thing, you know. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get into it. And as always, I got my notes. So, I'm going to try to make this one pretty quick, though. This is the breakdown and prediction video for the Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz Jr. fight coming up tonight. And on this one, I'll throw a couple of extra picks for a couple of extra fights in there real quick. So we'll go ahead and get into it, the good, bad, the ugly. And we will start with Anthony Joshua. AJ comes in with a record of 22-0-0 with 21 knockouts. He stands 6'6" tall, has an 82-inch reach, and he is an orthodox fighter. So let's go into the good. He is a tough fighter. I know AJ gets a bad rap a lot of times, man, but AJ, he has, oh, Cat left me, my co-host left. That's what's up. But AJ has been in some tough fights and came out on the other end. So he shows an element of toughness in his game. So, you know, I'm just keep it a buck and give him that. He can't sit down on his punches, heavy-handed at times. You know, he has 21 knockouts. A number of those are TKOs, but at the same time, on the same note, those stoppages, whether they're KOs or TKOs, are due to him landing hard, heavy shots. Has a very good jab and a straight to the body. That's the newest thing he's added to his toolkit, and that's one of the elements of his game that impressed me most. When I watched the Povetkin fight, it jumped off the screen at me. And I expect to see that jab and that straight to the body quite a bit in this Andy Ruiz fight. Try to take that gas tank down, you know, take it down to E, especially in the later rounds. AJ's going to have to be careful when doing that, because when he does that, when he does that straight or that jab to the body, it's not the fastest in the world, and he kind of leaves himself out there a bit. So if his counterpunch game is on point, you know, AJ may take a little damage doing that if he's not careful. Has dealt with adversity well in the past. We've seen him get rocked by the likes of Povetkin, Dylan White, Joseph Parker. We saw him put down against Klitschko, but through all of that, he either got himself back together or he got up off the canvas. And even though Klitschko didn't jump on him like Wilder did, you know, Klitschko was still cautious and let him make it. But AJ has dealt with adversity in his fights. So we'll see what happens in this fight. He's got a good straight right. He's got a nice jab too, and he's also got a good uppercut. And let's see, fights well from the outside and the mid range. Those are the two areas where he seems to do his best work. All right, on to the bad. Stiff, that's something that we hear all the time, but yet he is stiff. He's not he's not the best athlete in the world, not the most athletic fighter in the world. Um, Not as fluid and flexible in comparison to Deontay Wilder. Um, Not as agile as Tyson Fury. Um, but it is what it is. Lacks head movement, and and my man Trey X pointed out something the other day, man. He was like, AJ is one of those fighters that he's gonna be right there in front of you, and he doesn't move his head. So in most cases, you can literally close your eyes and throw a punch and hit him because you know where his head's gonna be at. So yeah, straightforward and back fighter. Doesn't really show much use of angles when he's fighting. He's gonna be right there in the front door. Doesn't seem comfortable fighting on the inside, and he seems to want to be at either the outside or that mid range. Um, we'll see how this plays out with Andy Ruiz, because if Andy Ruiz is able to get inside, he may be able to do some work if he does have success getting inside. We saw the Joseph Parker fight, man, where the referee, literally jumped in between the two of them every time Parker wanted to get inside and go to the body. AJ was kind of looking for help. So he's here in America now. If I'm not mistaken, the referees are going to be provided by the New York State Athletic Commission. So we'll see what the difference will be when the inside fighting comes. And he has shown stamina issues. Normally around I say the 5th through the 7th round is where AJ shows evidence of gassing. He's caught his second wind in fights, but that seems to be the time frame where the gas light starts to flash. So we'll see how that plays out in this fight. All right, and now we will go to Andy Ruiz Jr. Comes in with a record of 31-1-0. That loss came to Joseph Parker. Controversial decision. Unanimous decision win by Joseph Parker. I think Andy Ruiz made a good showing of himself in that fight, but he didn't get the nod and took the L. He's got 21 KOs. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and has a 74-inch reach. So AJ has a 4-inch height advantage and an 8-inch reach advantage over Ruiz. All right, go to the good. Very good hand speed for a heavyweight. That's probably his claim to fame is his hand speed. He's used to fighting taller fighters because in most cases he is the shorter man in the ring. He's a tough, gritty fighter. He's got an element of physicality to him. He will get rough and nasty in there with fighters, especially when he's able to get on the inside. He uses his weight to his advantage. He throws his weight around in the ring when he's able to do so. He's good at slipping the initial jab or straight punch from an opponent. And that kind of surprised me because he's a very big target. But when he was fighting, I saw it with Parker. I saw it with what was the guy's name? Tupe, big Samoan looking cat. He did a really, really good job of slipping that first initial shot and coming back with some counter work. So yeah. So we'll look to see if that happens tonight against AJ. Good combo puncher, man. He puts his punches together really nicely. Really fluid with his combinations. And like I said, that's it's not what you normally see from the heavyweights. The heavyweights are normally just 1-2 thudding shots. Maybe the 1-2. But yeah, he puts pretty good combinations together. He's a nice counter puncher. We talked about that. And he's got the ability to be able to slip a shot, transition to offense, and come back with something, of his own. And he's got a nice overhand right. that I saw in the fights that he was that I was breaking down. Normally, when you got a fighter who's usually the shorter fighter in their fights, the overhand right is or the whatever their dominant hand, that overhand is normally one of their primary tools, because for one, it's harder to gauge. It's harder to see where it's coming from, and that overhand, when you throw that overhand right, it kind of extends their length, and instead of punching from here, now you're like this, and that gives them an extra couple inches on their range and on their distance to be able to connect the shot. All right, on to the bad. He is a shorter fighter, man. Like we said, he's giving up 4 inches in height, but he's also giving up 8 inches in reach. So that's going to be an uphill battle for Ruiz, man. He's giving up the physical advantages in this one, as far as height and reach. Footwork, slow at times. There were times when I saw him, bouncing on his toes against Parker. But in other fights, he looked like he was walking through quicksand. Yeah. Not known as a devastating puncher. I've seen him. I think he has respectable power at best, but nothing near devastating in my opinion. Does not always use angles to his advantage. I saw elements of his game where he would, get off combinations, especially to the body, and then he'd step around on his opponent. But I did not see that enough. For the most part, he's right there in the front door on his opponent, man. And I would like to see him be able to use those angles to try to frustrate and befuddle AJ in this fight, because he's shown he can do it. To me, he just doesn't use that enough, So yeah, that's what that is. All right, on to the keys to victory. We'll start with AJ. That jab and that straight to the body is going to be a good weapon for him in this fight, man. Ruiz is a huge target, a wide target, so I think that'll go a long way in not only scoring points, but draining that gas tank and taking some of that wind out of it. I forgot one thing, and the one thing about Ruiz on the bad. His last 3 fights have been 8 and 10 rounders. Now, 4 fights ago, he fought Joseph Parker, and that was a 12 rounder. After that, he went back down to an 8 rounder, and his last 2 fights have been 10 rounders. So we're gonna see how his conditioning comes into play, man. He went back to 8 and 10 rounders, so will he have the petrol, man? Will he have the wind to go 12 again? Hopefully. Even the Demichenko fight, that was a 10 rounder. It just happened to end early. But yeah, that's going to be a question mark right there in terms of his wind, his conditioning. How many rounds has he been going in training camp? We know this is a short notice fight, so that's going to be a really, really big question mark, man. All right, now back to the keys of victory. We talked about the jab and straight to the body for AJ. It's going to be a good weapon for him. Also, he needs to work the body with power shots, not just jabs and straights, but hooks and uppercuts to the body. He needs to work those. Anything he can do to slow Ruiz down, because if he can take that wind away from him, not only will it slow down his legs, but it'll also slow down that hand speed. So and that'll make him more timeable, more predictable. Outside game must shine. That's AJ's dominant tool in his toolkit is that the jab and the 1-2. That needs to be on point. He needs to keep that boy Ruiz at range, at distance, as much as he can on the end of his jab and on the end of that straight right. Okay, for Ruiz, keys of victory. He needs to get inside and work. Don't just get inside and look at your opponent. But get inside and get busy. You know what I'm saying? Body and head. My next one kind of connects with that. He needs to work the body. We talked about how AJ is not comfortable being on the inside. He's definitely not comfortable with fighters being on the inside of him and getting work in. He doesn't like that. So it would behoove Andy to get in there, work that body with good, hard digging combinations, and I think that'll pay off some dividends. Lastly, conditioning is the key. We talked about that. Ruiz's last 3 fights, 8 and 10 rounders. We need to see, is his wind up? Now the good thing is he just recently came off a fight against Demachenko. I'm sorry. So he still should have been in some sort of fighting shape, pretty good fighting shape, I would say, and hopefully pretty good conditioning. So, yeah, that's what we got. All right, all that being said, my pick for the night is, I got AJ in this fight. AJ by 11-round TKO, and I put that right at the cusp of where his last few fights have been going. His last few fights have been 10-rounders. AJ does have experience going 12 in fights. So we'll see. Now, although Ruiz has experience going 12, that fight against Parker went 12, but that was his only 12-round fight. So, and I'll be honest, I don't know how many more fights besides Parker that AJ has that's gone 12. I need to check that out too. But yeah, I got AJ 11-round stoppage. I think he's going to be able to by then catch his second win. I think he's going to be able to take a lot of the wind out of Ruiz's sails. I think Ruiz is going to give him some problems early, mid rounds of the fight, but I think AJ is going to be able to take him into deep waters, and then get him with an accumulation of hard shots towards the end. But should be a pretty interesting fight, I'm looking forward to seeing how AJ does in this one, and how Ruiz does in this one. Because like I said, he showed himself pretty well against Parker. But yeah, that's what I got, man. And y'all let me know what you think, man. Comment below. Once again, got to give a shout out to whole LDBC, the whole fighting community, and as always, man, gang, my block fam. That's Marlo's Corner with the homie Trey X, Chris Rayner, Main Boxing Biker, El Finici, Legendary Top Cats, me myself, Roughhouse Boxing TV. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that rocks out with us, man, over on the block. Once again, make sure you pull up to Marlo's Corner for the fight call tonight. And oh yeah, I said so. I had some other predictions. I've got Bryant Jennings over Joe Joyce tonight. I've got I got Josh Kelly over what's his name? What's the guy named Ray? I can't think of the dude. Against the dude that he's fighting, I got Josh Kelly in that one. Who else is fighting? That was of interest. Katie Taylor's fighting tonight, man. I'm gonna go ahead and ride with Katie Taylor on that one. Chris Algieri is fighting. I'll be honest, I didn't really look at Chris Algieri's opponent. I'm gonna stay away from that one, man, because Chris Algieri did not look good in his last fight. So I don't know. I haven't looked at any fighting film on his opponent, so I can't make a solid pick on that one. So I'm gonna stay away from that one, man. But yeah, that's what it is, man. So once again, y'all already know what it is. I am that boy Box. This is Roughhouse Boxing TV. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for stopping by the house, man. And I forgot to tell all y'all to wipe your feet and close the door behind you, man. I just let y'all walk right in the house, man. But that's all good, man. Man, if y'all rock out here at the house, y'all already did it. I know y'all did it, man. But trying to think, is there anything else? Anything else? Nope. That's all I got. So y'all can go ahead and get on out the house now. Gee.